Right, hello lads and lasses and welcome back to Boys Down Under. Today, yes, we got the bucket hat on, but there's also quite a fair bit to talk about today. So we got Sydney Super Cup news, injury news, all of that sort of stuff. We'll cover it all today. And yeah, before we go any further though, if you guys are enjoying the content you want to see and you are enjoying it all and you want to help support the channel, the best way to do so is to click that like button, click that subscribe button. But without further ado, let's get into it. So big news this morning. Everton are replacing Rangers and will be coming to Sydney in New South Wales in Australia to play in the Sydney Super Cup, which happens about a week before the World Cup begins. Now, my thoughts as a Sydney sider, there are positives and there are negatives of bringing Everton in. Firstly, a lot of people view Everton as the Rangers of the Merseyside derby. It sounds a bit odd at first, yeah, I know, but I can understand, I can get along to it, I can play along, fair enough, right? The other positive is that Jordan Pickford is actually probably the only Everton player right there in the squad who is a guarantee to play for their nation at the World Cup. So really, we should be seeing, or I should be, whoever's going should be seeing, Allen playing, DCL, Dele Alli, Alexander Iwobi, Abdoulaye Doucouré, Damari Gray, all those sorts of players. And at the end of the day, it's pretty cool to see these Premier League players in front of you, right? Especially when you can't go see a game every weekend, as we can in Australia, right? But look, you get the picture, and that the other positive is that naturally as a Premier League team, they will attract more fans, right? They will, I'm sure, obviously they're not the best Premier League team, they narrowly avoided relegation, but still a Premier League team regardless, with a strong support down here in Australia. So hopefully that leads to an increase in tickets sold and a bigger crowd at the event, right? But look, the only negative that is really just a personal preference. I'm a simple man. I like my football, right? And I feel like I'd rather watch Celtic play AC Milan, Inter Milan, a top German outfit, one of those teams that we have a chance at drawing in the Champions League, right? So, I'm disappointed we didn't get a bigger name in. I think I'm disappointed about that. I feel the organisers could have done a lot better, but I understand that, right, with the limited time they had since Rangers pulled out, they had to finalise it. They had to put tickets on sale to maximise the ticket sales before the event in November, even though it is still ages away, Tickets need to be released as soon as possible, right? But look, at the end of the day, I'm still going to go watch the game. I'm still going to go watch the Sydney FC game as well because, right, I'd be an idiot not to, and I'm going to go enjoy it. I'm not going to, mope around and be like, oh, like I'm forced to go to it. Like it's a great, it's a once in a lifetime experience, usually is to see Celtic in Australia, right? It's doesn't happen often. It's only happened in 2011 against Central Coast Mariners, so luckily I'll get to see it 3 times, but still, like, what I'm trying to say is that I'm still hyped up for it. I'm not gonna mope around about it, but it's just there's little things that I wish could have been done better is all I'm gonna say. And yeah, Everton, I welcome the challenge. I think we take them easy peasy, although thinking about it, we still miss quite a few players on international duty as well. We actually miss more players on international duty than Everton do, so I don't know what that says about who's got the better squad, but looking at it, it'll be a great fixture regardless. Easy dubs. Anyways, into some injury news coming out of Celtic's pre-season camp in Austria. Firstly, we'll start off with some light minor injury news just to get it off because I need to talk about it. Leo Labada and Josip Juranovic are both nursing minor injuries. Apparently, they will be out of action most likely only for this weekend against Rapid Vienna, which isn't too big of a loss. Be nice to see him, but we see him every week in, week out during the regular season, right? So it's expected they'll miss that match, but be ready for some action against Banik Ostrava. But the major injury news comes from Carl Starfelt. Now, he is expected to miss the majority, if not all, of pre-season after picking up his hamstring injury and stretch it off on international duty for Sweden. Now, why is this so important? Well, you may say, oh, well, he's back for the first game. It's only pre-season, doesn't matter. Well, my question to pose to you guys is that would Ange put Carl Starfelt back into the starting lineup if he had not had a single minute of football prior to that, and if he had no match fitness whatsoever, right? regardless of his partnership with Cameron Carter-Vickers, we saw all season long and really was reluctant to throw his star players, to starting players back into the lineup straight away because of that risk of injury, which we'll get into a second, right? You know, you look at Kyogo, right, after his hamstring tear, and only eased him back in for a couple of games, right? Because he was out for so significantly long, same as David Turnbull and other players throughout the season. Now, like I said, that's purely because of the risk of injury. There's a much greater risk of re-injuring a muscle or body part you have just recovered from if it isn't eased back into full intensity through, you know, limited minutes training and whatnot. But what does this mean? You know, I can talk about this, but obviously this has lead-on effects and repercussions. So, the two things are that, number one, Christopher Jullien is going to be seeing a lot more minutes in this preseason than I think we expected. And not just him, Cameron Carter-Vickers, Welshie, and Jullien will probably see the bulk of minutes in that centre-back spot. Don't be surprised to see, you know, Dane Murray, Bosun Lowell as well filling in there. Because, you know, like I said, we've got to be easing players back into full match fitness, not just throwing them in the deep end and hoping for the best. But more importantly, hypothetically speaking, if Starfelt doesn't, you know, return to preseason training and he is out of action until that first match day, and I don't feel would play him in that first game back, so there's a centre-back spot, hypothetically speaking, up for grabs, and I'm sure Jullien knows it, Welshie knows it, and they're going to have to let their football do the talking and let their football push for their cases for that starting spot, right? And if you ask me, I think Welshie is the future of Celtic, right? I think he is a future captain. I think he also, you know, future centre-back, right? Albeit, we have been saying that for a while, he still is only 22 and has shown maturity years above his age, right? But for me, in this very moment, if Flag Day was, let's say, Saturday, right? Which is tomorrow, scarily, but I believe that Jullien gets the nod. You know, obviously, that is if it was this weekend, but, you know, for me, in this very moment, I think he gets it. And, you know, I'm going to stick to my guns on that because, right, he has that height, right? That is just, you can't teach height. You can't coach height. It's just such a beneficial thing to have in the Celtic team. Height, right? Defending set pieces, attacking set pieces. It just adds a whole nother dangerous level to our game. And also, certainly, Jullien is a far more experienced centre-back than Welsh is, right? Something that Ange clearly has a likening for in playing experienced players rather than inexperienced youngsters. That is something we saw all throughout last season. He would always opt for the more experienced players than bringing in B-team players, you know, and Jullien has that, and we saw a bit of that on the weekend against Vina Victoria when he was handed the captain's armband. So I don't make of that what you will. I think there's a turning of heads in the Celtic camp right now, especially with this Starfelt injury. I think you can expect a lot from Christopher Jullien in this preseason and heading into the start of next season, unless Carl Starfelt makes a miraculous recovery from his hamstring injury or the reports are fake. Now, just quickly to end the video, Alexandre Bernabei, he will not be suspended for the opening match day against Aberdeen. He is available for selection. The Argentinian FA, Scottish FA decided no further suspension required. He's fit. He is able to be set loose. Very interested to see how he fares in the Premiership. And we'll get first taste of that, I guess. We'll get first taste of what he's capable of this weekend against Rapid Vienna, which should be a much better challenge than the wingers of Vina Victoria. But that is all from me. So if you guys did enjoy the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, leave your thoughts for any of you who have any opinion on Everton being the new team in the Sydney Super Cup. Leave your thoughts on that. Leave your thoughts on this Starfelt Jullien situation, Welsh, whatever. And yeah, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. And until next time, hail, hail.